Hey, Wembley World Entertainment, and the second official teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday has officially dropped. Not the leaked version, the actual version that they've put out, and it's the Thor one. It's a really nothing burger, which is very much what the first teaser was, just a nothing burger. And of course, all the conversation now is about the third trailer, which has leaked. There's even a proper version of it now on Twitter that you can find. Which is the X-Men one, and again, that has a little more to it, with kind of destruction and stuff. But the Thor one, yeah, we're about to take a look at it. It's really gonna be another version of Thor. I think people are going to go, oh, not this version, not a jokey version. You'll see what I mean. But here is the trailer anyway. Have a look at this.
Father, all my life, I have answered every call to honor, duty, to war. But now fate has given me something I never sought. A child, a life untouched by the storm. Lend me the strength of the old fathers, so that I may fight once more, defeat one more enemy, and return home to her. Not as a warrior, but as warmth. To teach her not battle, but stillness. The kind I never knew. Please, Father, heed my words.
So there it is, and that's the version I'm talking about. Short-haired version. Why is his hair short again? Especially when the whole joke in Ragnarok was him freaking out about getting the haircut. He grows the hair back, and now he's cut it again. Why? Why has he cut the hair again? But this article here, I'll read parts of it. It says, showing Thor spending time with his daughter, Love, which is actually played by his actual daughter as well, and walking through the forest before praying to his father Odin. The preview doesn't reveal much. It does, however, set the tone for a version of the Odinson most fans would prefer to see on screen. Now, that's the part I agree with. That yes, we want to see more of the actual Thor and not the jokey, goofy version, like the dad bod and stuff like that. And yes, he's praying to Odin. Now, if you remember, they originally had a leaked teaser, which clearly was fake, where it had Loki in there. But it's interesting because even that version started off in the forest and stuff. So it seemed to be the only thing that wasn't real in that one was Loki. Because otherwise the trailers do seem to be pretty much lining up. So now we have two trailers officially released, which is the Captain America one and now the Thor one. And the next one, of course, is the X-Men one, which if you haven't seen it and you are curious as to what's in it, you're seeing the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters in ruins. There's like the rubble everywhere, there's fire everywhere. Magneto is the one doing the voiceover in that one. Then we see Charles Xavier's wheelchair starting to wheel in. Not the comic accurate one from Doctor Strange, but the Fox Universe one. He's wheeling through. Every now and again we see the chest of a Sentinel. We see the foot of a Sentinel. And then we see Charles and Magneto playing chess. Magneto is disheveled. He's got long hair. He's got the beard. He looks more like Gandalf than anything else. They kind of embrace. They hold hands. Again, this is while Magneto's voiceover is happening, talking about destruction and the end is coming for us all, and it's almost here. And then we see a Sentinel walking, and then we see Cyclops with his visor off, but using his eyes, obviously shooting at the Sentinel. So again, the full HD version of that has now dropped on X, which I was tempted to put it in here, but I was thinking, no, Marvel will pull it. Even though Marvel is the ones leaking all this. Be under no illusion about that. Marvel is the one who's leaking all these trailers. So they're obviously trying to drum up interest. They're trying to get people talking about this stuff. The irony is to keep dropping the newer one before they release the one that they've originally dropped. So like, here we have the Thor trailer, and yet everybody is talking about the X-Men trailer. And I think they said there was talk that the Thor trailer is possibly one of the Black Panther type of ones. I'm not 100% sure. I can't quite remember. So in this, of course, Thor is praised, and he says, the war and now fate has given me something I never sought. A child, a life untouched by this all. Lend to me the strength of the All-Fathers so that I might fight once more, defeat one more enemy and return home to her, not as a warrior, but as a warmth. To teach her not battle, but stillness, the kind I never knew. Please, Father, hear my words. So that whole trailer, all that sentence takes that whole trailer to say. And of course it says Thor will return in Avengers Doomsday, and we still get the clock and all that stuff. It's a really nothing trailer, and that I think is going to be one of the things that's going to go against them when you're trying to drum up all this interest. Of course, you get all the shields losing their mind over it and stuff, but it's the fact that it really is showing us nothing. Like, oh look, it's Thor sitting in a forest praying to Odin. The first trailer, oh look, it's Steve Rogers walking up to a house. The next one is, oh look, it's Charles and Magneto playing chess while everything is burning around them. The only part that will get people kind of interested is the Sentinel and Cyclops using his powers. That's it. And then God knows whatever the fourth one is, which I think has already leaked in places. So it'll be interesting to see what the interest is on these trailers. Now, they're not getting ratioed by any means, but the dislikes are higher than I think that Marvel and Disney would like them to be. You know, I think they'd like them to be really low, but they're actually going quite high. So, yeah, I think they could be worried about that. I think this movie is still going to be a mess. It's absolutely going to be a mess. It's going to be overstuffed, overbloated. Just kind of like, really? Is this what we're doing? Remember, they filmed this with no script. They only had half a script and they kept rewriting it. The actors were doing scenes with people they don't even know who they're in scenes with, because Alan Cumming is the one who let that slip when he said, oh yeah, I shot in a green screen. I don't even know who I'm in the scene with. So they probably had them do multiple versions of the scene so they could switch and swap characters. So that's kind of the disaster this is going to be. They're obviously going to do not some reshoots, major reshoots. This movie we are possibly looking at, and people have been saying it, and it is ridiculously true, that we could be looking at the first ever $1 billion flop. Well, at least the second $1 billion flop, because yeah, Rise of Skywalker is actually a flop. Didn't actually earn money, and that made over $1 billion. But the fact that this thing, now, quite frankly, at this point, I still don't think this movie makes $1 billion. Could be very wrong, but I just don't see it. I think it's going to have a massive opening. I mean, it is going to be super front loaded. I'm talking possibly a 500 million opening. We're talking about that. And then I think it takes an absolute nosedive off the face of the earth, because I think word of mouth ends up coming out then that goes, yeah, this thing's a mess. It's an absolute disaster, and everybody you'd want to stick around is gone within 2 seconds, and I just don't see it working for people. But overall, these trailers, they're not getting ratioed, but they're not getting all that love as well. And I think, you know, you've already seen the backlash to Steve Rogers coming back. Can't wait to see the backlash over Thor having short hair, and God knows what the reactions will be to the other ones, but let's wait and see. So what do you think of the trailer, and of course all the trailers so far? And if you've seen the X-Men one, what do you think of that one? Do let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit the hype button, check out memberships, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.